In this video, we're gonna do some demo with directory harvesting attack. Now that we already understand the SMTP server behavior upon DHA, let's list the procedure on how to conduct this attack. The first thing to do is, of course, select a target organization. Next is generate an initial mailing list. Now, for generating the address list, you can do different approaches. It could be via open source intelligence, where you can rely with search engine results. It could be via social engineering, and if you can somehow get a list of the employee's name and understand the naming convention of the target domain, then you can start generating a list from there. So let's just jump in to the high-level steps on how to generate an initial mailing list and then test an attack. In this demo, I am running Metasploit from a Kali Linux machine. So to generate an initial email address listing, we're gonna be using an auxiliary called search email collector. So let's type use auxiliary gather email search. Okay, then let's type in show options. Okay, so from here we can see the domain, which should be your target, and then we also have the out file, which will be the file name of the output, and we can also see search Bing, Google, and Yahoo. This will be the search engines that the auxiliary will be using. Okay, so let's set domain. Let's just use hotmail.com. Then let's set out file. Let's put it under TMP list emails. Okay, so once done configuring these parameters, we can start the execution by typing run. Then we can see here that the auxiliary is searching from Google, then Bing. So it's actually harvesting emails now. Okay, so we have here the list of email addresses that has been found from the search engines. And let me open a separate terminal. And then let's verify the file itself. Okay. Okay, so here's the listing. Now let's do the word count so that we know how many email addresses has been collected. Okay, so we have a total of 41 email addresses available from the internet. Okay. Of course, we're not gonna be attacking Hotmail on this demo, so I will just modify the email addresses to match my test lab domain. So let's say substitute. Let's replace Hotmail with okay, so then let's confirm. Okay, so I've replaced the domain, and actually I'm gonna edit this one. Okay, of course I wanna add some valid email addresses so that we can have a successful query from the DHA. So I'll put in user 1. Okay, I think that's fine. We have 2 valid users from my test lab. Okay, since we already have the email listing, we can actually start the DHA attack now. So we will be using SMTP user enum. Okay, let's just enter it, and we can see here that we can modify some parameters. So from my previous discussion, you can see the VRFY, EXPN, but of course, we're not going to use these two anymore. So we'll be using the RCPT, okay? Then we use the -u command, then the listing, -t for the target SMTP server. Okay, so let's type it in. -m, RCPT for the mode, -u for the listing, just the list. Small letter because we'll be using an IP address, a single IP address. Okay, then let's enter. Okay, so we have here the two valid email addresses from my test lab. So the administrator and the user one. Okay, that is out of 44 queries. Okay, so we can also see additional information. So you can see we use the mode RCPT, worker process is 5, the listing of email addresses, one target, which is the SMTP server. We have 44 accounts or email addresses from the list. Of course, port 25 for SMTP, and the query take as long as 5 seconds. Okay, so from here, this is an example of a successful DHA attack. How about if we disable the SMTPD recipient restrictions? Actually, this is available from the IMSVA. We can go to the SMTP routing under administration, then go to message rule. So just uncheck this one. That is the equivalent of the SMTPD recipient restriction. Okay, so let's just save it. Okay, so let's just wait for some time again for the configuration to implement on the server, and then let's do the same attack again. Okay, so I will be running again the command. Okay, so as we can see, since we already put back the configuration to the default, we can see the 43 email address has been confirmed existing from the SMTP server, which actually made the DHA attack failed. Okay, so the same information from the above. You can see the worker process mode. Okay, by the way, correction, this is query timeout. Okay, and then the total time of the query is 2 seconds. I'm not sure why one IP address. I think there is a one invalid IP address. That's why only 43 has been resulted from the query. Okay, so that's it. Putting the default configuration will prevent the attacker from having the proper result from the DHA attack.